In this presentation, we're going to continue with part 2 of uploading our inventory items into our accounting system. Let's zoom into it with Xero. Here we are within our Get Great Guitars dashboard within Xero. Last time we left off where we had our inventory spreadsheet in a CSV format that we're now going to be uploading into the Xero, and so we kind of left in suspense to see if this thing would work, right? We're going to upload it now, so this is the moment of truth. So we're going to go back then to our business dropdown. We're going to go down to the products and services. Going down to the products and services, we should have our 4 items in there already. These are the service items. Now we're going to be uploading the inventory items. To do so, we went to the import tab last time. We went to the items within it, and we had our items worksheet that we then downloaded from here. We populated that items worksheet like this. It's already in a CSV format. We then saved it. Remember that if you're just populating an Excel worksheet, you can save and go to File, Save As, Browse, change the file type from a Excel file, which is an XLX or SX, SL, that one. And you could change it to a CSV file, and that's the one that you're going to upload. And notice whenever you go into a CSV file, it can be a little frustrating because you do some formatting in Excel. Like we changed the size of the cells, and I go back in there and it made them the other size again. Why? Because it's trying to be as simplified as possible because it's a CSV file without any of the cool stuff that Excel does that's going to mess up the upload, is how I understand it. That's my simplified way of understanding why that happens. It's going to be okay. So we're going to close this back out. We're now going to be uploading it over here. So we're going to go down, and we're now on step 3 where we can simply upload this thing. So we're going to upload it. We're going to browse to see if we can find it, and I think we will be able to find it. That part I think we can do. And then, so that's it. I want to pick up this Xero. Notice it is a CSV file. So I'm going to pick up that one, and it populates here. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and continue, see what happens. Okay, we have a couple problems here. So one is the purchases code of 1400 does not match any existing code. So we'll take a look at that. The other is the formatting of the sales tax. It doesn't like the 9.095 invalid tax rate found. So it doesn't like that rate. So let's see if we can go back in here and address these. I'm gonna make this a little bit larger again. So I'm gonna format this to make it larger. It's not gonna keep that formatting. You'll remember once I open it up again. So if I go back into this, it doesn't like this code. Now, as I understand it, this code would be used if we didn't have inventory tracking on, and it would basically be an expense account when we purchased it, because we'd have to expense it at purchase if we're not going to track inventory. If we are tracking inventory, then this is going to be the cost. This is going to basically, I guess, be the cost of goods sold. So what I'm going to try to do is remove this at this point in time, because we put the inventory, the purchase should go into inventory. So I'm going to remove this and see if we can upload it with it not having an item there, since we are going to be tracking inventory. And then the purchases tax rate, we don't have a purchases tax rate, so I'm going to keep that. I am going to go over to the sales tax rate, which was the other problem. The 9, it was 0.0. I changed it to a percentage to see if it'll take that. So to do that, I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to go to the home tab, and then I'm going to change it in the numbers group to a percent. Then I'm going to add a decimal. So I'm going to add a decimal right here. So it's going to be, I'll add 2 decimals, 9.50, 9.50. And so that's just a formatting, and I'll save that formatting. Now that's a formatting thing, and it's going to be a CSV file. If I close the CSV file and open it back up to see if it keeps that formatting item in kind of the more simplified CSV file, I'm going to save this and say, okay. And then if I open it back up just to see, what it looks like after I close it and open back up, it shrunk the cells back down, but it didn't delete the percentage, which means maybe it'll take that percentage format. So let's go ahead and close this and upload it again, see what happens. So I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go down. I'm going to browse to upload this thing. And I want to upload the Xero inventory items again. And then we're going to cross our fingers and continue. Cross the fingers, continue. Now it still doesn't like the sales tax rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the tax rate right now, and we'll go in and we'll deal with the tax rate at a later time. So let's zero out the tax rate at this point. I'm just simply going to zero out that column, and then we'll deal with the tax rate at another point. I'm going to save that, and we'll save as and say yes. And then let's try this again. I'm going to go back And then I'm gonna browse to add this again. We're going to be going to Xero inventory items and then continue. Okay, it looks like it's going to let us import this. The imports for Xero items contain 6 lines, so we're going to have that's good. I'm happy with it. Let's go ahead and complete the import and see what happens. Here we are. What happened? So if I go back down, we now have our items down below. You can see that the inventory items will have a cost field, whereas the service items will not. So here's going to be our inventory items. If I was to select one of those inventory items, then we have our information here. If I wanted to edit it, let's go ahead and edit and see what that edit field looks like. Notice we have the purchase item. We don't have the purchase item over here because we want to have the tracking on. So notice we have the tracking on, and that's going to be the inventory account. So considering it in this format, we got the name, we've got the unit price, and when I purchase this item, the cost of goods sold is going to be going to the cost of goods sold field. I sell this item, the unit price, and then the sales is the merchandise account here. So those are going to be the 2 items affected. The sales tax, this is what we couldn't pick up. We don't have any sales tax rates in here, so we're going to have to look at the sales tax feature in a future presentation and then go back in and populate the sales tax field. We are going to be doing the tracking for these inventory items so that we have these inventories on in the tracking field. So we're going to have inventory item here as we track the inventory. And as we scroll back up, just note that the purchase line item, this is the cost of goods sold. And when we go down here, we have I sell this item. This is a sales account. This is not inventory. This is a sales account, just to be clear. This is the inventory account. Okay, let's close this back out. Now note that we don't have any on hand right now. What we would like to do is basically set up the beginning balances and have some of these on hand. So we need to find some way to get the beginning inventory on hand because we have inventory that in our balance sheet as of the beginning of the time period of the 2008-96, which we need to be supporting with the inventory records. So I'm going to go back to the inventory with the cookie trail up top. Now the 2 ways we can kind of think of to put that beginning balances in are to make some type of transaction before the date that we're going to be dealing with our data, meaning we just do a purchase or do a transaction before the date of our financials as of when we want to track it in Xero, which will be 2020. So we would enter the data in the prior period, 2019, or we can use this import feature where we have the opening balances. So we're going to discuss that a bit more next time.